Hello and welcome to Outside Views EU, the channel where we examine the policies and strategies shaping Europe's role in the world. Today we're diving into geopolitics and exploring how the European Union is preparing to address global challenges in this arena. In a world marked by shifting alliances, emerging powers, and increasing tensions, the EU faces complex challenges that require strategic thinking, unity, and resilience. Let's start by looking at the current geopolitical landscape. Global power dynamics are changing. The rise of China as a global superpower, the assertiveness of Russia, and the evolving role of the United States have reshaped international relations. Meanwhile, challenges like cyber threats, resource competition, and regional instability have added layers of complexity. The EU, as a global actor, must navigate these dynamics while safeguarding its interests and promoting its values. The EU's approach to geopolitics is rooted in multilateralism and cooperation. But it's also adapting to a more competitive and fragmented world. Through a combination of diplomacy, strategic autonomy, and targeted investments, the EU is positioning itself to tackle these challenges head-on. And one of the cornerstones of the EU's geopolitical strategy is the strategic compass. Adopted in 2022, this plan outlines the EU's vision for security and defense over the next decade. It emphasizes the need for a stronger, more cohesive Europe capable of responding to crises and protecting its citizens. And this includes building rapid reaction capabilities, enhancing cyber defense, and deepening partnerships with like-minded nations. Another critical focus is energy security. The war in Ukraine underscored the vulnerabilities of Europe's reliance on external energy sources, particularly Russian gas. In response, the EU has accelerated efforts to diversify energy supplies and transition to renewables. Initiatives like Repower EU aim to reduce dependence on Russian fossil fuels and strengthen Europe's energy resilience. The EU is also investing in critical infrastructure and technology. Semiconductors, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity are seen as strategic priorities. The CHIPS Act is a prime example, aiming to bolster Europe's semiconductor production and reduce reliance on imports. In an increasingly interconnected world, technological leadership is not just an economic advantage, it's a geopolitical necessity. And let's talk about defense. While the EU is not a military alliance like NATO, it recognizes the importance of enhancing its defense capabilities. Through the European Defense Fund, member states are collaborating on joint projects to develop cutting-edge technologies and strengthen Europe's military industrial base. The goal is to ensure that the EU can act independently when necessary while complementing NATO's efforts. And trade is another key component of the EU's geopolitical strategy. As one of the largest trading blocs in the world, the EU wields significant economic power. Through trade agreements and economic partnerships, it promotes its values while securing access to global markets. At the same time, the EU is adopting a more assertive stance on protecting its economic interests. The anti-coercion instrument, for example, is designed to counter economic pressure from external actors. The EU's global influence also extends to development and diplomacy. Through initiatives like the Global Gateway, the EU is investing in sustainable infrastructure projects in developing countries. And this is not just about countering China's Belt and Road Initiative, it's about fostering partnerships that are built on trust, transparency, and mutual benefit. But geopolitics isn't just about external actions, it's also about internal resilience. The EU is working to strengthen its unity, recognizing that divisions within the bloc can undermine its global standing. And this includes addressing economic disparities among member states, enhancing social cohesion, and ensuring that all voices are heard in decision-making. At the same time, the EU is grappling with challenges like disinformation and hybrid threats. Cyber attacks, propaganda, and other forms of interference aim to weaken democracies and sow discord. To counter these threats, the EU is enhancing its cybersecurity capabilities and promoting media literacy among its citizens. A key element of the EU's geopolitical strategy is its commitment to upholding the rules-based international order. Through its support for multilateral organizations like the United Nations and the World Trade Organization, the EU advocates for solutions to global challenges that respect international law and human rights. And this stands in contrast to the more unilateral approaches seen in some other global powers. Of course, challenges remain. Maintaining unity among 27 member states with diverse interests and perspectives is no small task. Balancing economic growth with strategic autonomy requires careful planning. And responding to crises, whether they involve migration, security, or global health, demands both agility and long-term vision. Despite these challenges, the EU's approach to geopolitics is a testament to its ability to adapt and lead in a complex world. It's about finding the right balance between cooperation and competition, between openness and protection, and between ambition and pragmatism. So, what does this mean for Europe's citizens? It means a safer, more secure Europe that's better prepared to face the challenges of the future. It means a Europe that can protect its interests while promoting its values on the global stage. And perhaps most importantly, it means a Europe that's united in its diversity and committed to building a better world. But what do you think? Is the EU doing enough to prepare for geopolitical challenges? And how can it strengthen its role as a global leader? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below the video, and don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell for more insights into Europe's policies and strategies. So thank you for watching Outside VCU, and I'll see you in the next video, one of those you find right here in the end screen.